Okay, just waiting a couple of minutes, see who's going to join us today. This beautiful, beautiful day. We're making Tandoori-Style Baked Chicken with Shireen and JD from Moji Masala, and we'll let Shireen take it on.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We're doing Tandoori-Style Baked Chicken today. It's our most, honestly, might be one of the most delicious things, one of the most delicious spice blends that we have. The recipe itself is easy. It's a marinade. You just mix it with some olive oil, some tomato paste. You marinate the chicken. Try to get at least a 12-hour to 24-hour marination time in if you can. If not, even 2 or 3 hours will make a nice difference. But it's so simple and easy. You almost don't need this video, and we're literally doing this video to just show you how easy it is. And the feedback we get on this is things like, oh, it's now Tandoori Tuesday in our home because this is so delicious. We eat it every week. Another quote recently was, I don't quite understand how this is so delicious. These are a lot of feedback from people who cook regularly and who cook all kinds of food. So I love that. And it's really a testament to how fresh the spices are, how unique the recipe blends are, especially my mom's garam masala, which just really brings it all to life in a beautiful way. So I'm just going to show you quick what's in the packet if you were to buy a Tandoori-Style baked chicken packet.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And then I'm going to marinate it just super quick. So just to give you a little sense of how you can really get under the skin, marinate it properly to get most of the flavor. So this is it. If you just kind of show them down here, we've got the spice blend, cumin, coriander, salt, Kashmiri red chili. Again, not as super spicy as a typical Indian chili. Nice heat, but just a little milder. A little ginger powder, a little garlic powder, and then again, this garam masala has about 7 or 8 different spices in it to create a very deep, earthy, smoky flavor. It's really amazing. Tomato paste. You can use yogurt. We try to avoid adding the yogurt because a lot of people either don't want yogurt or can't eat yogurt. But you are more than welcome to supplement with some yogurt. Don't replace the tomato paste. Believe it or not, this I use a double concentrate. I love this brand. I've discovered it, fairly recently. I started using it. It's become my go-to. These tubes are a little more expensive, but they do last about 3 weeks. So, and really makes a difference in the flavor. So, double concentrate though is great. And then you can add yogurt to that if you want a little bit more of that yogurt flavor. But the umami flavor really comes out with tomato and tomato paste in particular. So stick with that. So all I'm going to do here is take about a tablespoon. I'm doing half the recipe because that's what I had in my fridge. I thought, okay, so I'll use it to show you. Normally it's 8 thighs. You can use other parts, sure, but try to go with the darker meat. It is juicier. Skin on, bone in. Very important for this dish to sort of maximize the juiciness. I've done boneless, skinless. It does taste good. It's just a little less juicy. All good. So since we're doing half recipe, I'm doing about a tablespoon of this tomato paste. I'm going to do, normally it's about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. It's, this is really just to create the paste. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm doing that there. That's probably about a 1/4 cup. It's probably a little more than I need. And then I'm going to, this would be all mixed up in this packet here. So it's all separated here so you can see.
Pre-measured. So yeah. all of our spices are in a pre-measured pack per dish.
Yes.
So we pre-measured today.
So this
about
one
half.
pack would be for 8 thighs.
8 thighs, yeah.
You can freeze the raw marinated portion if you're just one person, you want to eat 1 or 2 at a time. I freeze them in sets of 2, defrost. They actually marinate frozen. So even though some people don't like to freeze, I don't even necessarily love to freeze, but I do this a lot because it is really tasty when you defrost and cook it. We're going to just bake these for about 45 minutes. That's it. The other thing I'm going to add is I have literally a teaspoon of minced garlic left. I'm going to add it. This does have garlic, but when you add, typically garlic ginger paste would be a very typical Indian addition. It doesn't actually replace the original ginger powder that would be in a dish. It just gives it a really fresh, a little bit more gingery taste. It's not going to dominate the flavor because, again, a lot of our recipes And our kind of approach to the cooking is to have a lot of balance where not one flavor super stands out. So I'm doing that little bit of garlic. And actually, if you don't have time to marinate and you add some fresh garlic ginger paste or take some fresh garlic and fresh ginger, just mince it up a little bit and add it in, it almost sort of replicates some of that deeper flavor that comes from marination. So I'm gonna get a spoon. Sorry, I should have had that. Use this. Perfect. And also all I'm gonna do is mix it all in. And the key here is to smell it. I mean, the minute you open the packet, if you open this packet, you'd smell this. It's just fresh. You just smell, it makes you hungry. Literally just makes you hungry. So you just want to get it kind of as blended, well blended in. You don't want clumps of spices in one place and not in another, and then it won't coat as evenly. And now I'm really smelling the tomato mixed with the spice, which is great. Okay. So I'm just going to stick these in here. Now the key to this is to coat it well and coat it evenly, but then to also coat it under the skin. And I use gloves. I use your hands, you know, whether you use gloves or not gloves, because it's really hard to get it as well coated as you need to. I just sort of take the skin up, don't fully rip it off, just enough that you can really just layer it in there and then get it nice and smooth. And then also on the skin, for sure. The skin part will get more at the end, but you really want to get it in. Really what you can also do, and really should do, give it a few pokes with or you can, before you do all this, you could slice it with a knife, like just put a bunch of slits into the meat. So this is the only reason we're doing the video, because otherwise it's so easy, but this process really, it makes a difference. I just have to tell you, and when you taste it, you won't find this to be a pain or unnecessary or a frivolous step. Just coating it all up. So this is about a little over 1.5 pounds, about 1.5 pounds of meat. Sometimes a little hard to find the best opening. There we go. So imagine if all of that beautiful meat didn't get the spice. Okay. And for our marinade, when we do have the marinades and stuff, we do add the salt in because that's part of the marination, and it is the right balance. Versus some other of the dishes, you know, you can adjust your salt as needed. It's not salty, so I don't want to scare anybody, but it's salted appropriately for this dish. We use Kashmiri Himalayan pink salt, which has really become my kosher salt substitute. I just like the flavor of it. I like it. I don't even do like the sea salt and it's sort of my finishing salt and my main salt. It just has a really nice flavor. It's like not too salty. It has a very slightly, I almost want to say sweeter finish. They're not all the same. Some can be very salty, so you do have to kind of make sure. They do taste different, but even the Costco brand actually is really nice and flavorful. Okay. There you go. So once it's all coated in, you just want to you don't want to lose any of that spice. So you just want to get it all on, really a lot of it on the bottom, because that's where the meat is. And it shouldn't be clumpy and it shouldn't be big glops of it. You know, everything's measured out, so you won't get that. So if you just go by the measurements, put a 1/4 cup of oil, a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste, it's the right amount and it'll blend really well. If you are finding it a little gloppy or chunky, just add a little more olive oil or a little yogurt if you'd like. And then if you do use yogurt, by the way, and use the Greek yogurt, which is really tasty, use full fat and add a couple tablespoons of water just to thin it out, because it shouldn't be soupy by any means, but it should be thin enough that you should be able to spread it around without it clumping. So that's it. This is one well marinated raw chicken thigh.
Super well
appealing
marinated.
Or unappealing as that looks, it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
And we're gonna let this marinate. We're gonna go for the 24-hour marination, and then we're gonna bake it about 25 minutes covered, another 25 minutes uncovered, and it'll be delicious. And then we'll show you the final product.
And the recipe's on our site.
The recipe's on our site.
So are the packets. MojiMasala.com. MojiMasala.com.
Yeah.
Okay, hope you enjoy. Bye.